The Portland Trail Blazers are building something special. This team, of course, just getting Damian Lillard back because everybody knows you always go back to your ex. They are bringing in guys like Jrue Holiday to be a veteran presence, and they have a fantastic young core led by Deni Avdija. They also have Shaedon Sharpe, guys like Henderson, and then Hansen, who was a draft pick of theirs this season. Donovan Clingan, a second-team all-rookie guy last year. This Blazers team is trending so far in the correct direction. And they're going to have Dame receiving the most help he's ever had in his career. I mean, as a Blazer, Dame was notorious for getting left out to dry with absolutely no help, even making the Western Conference Finals with literally just CJ McCollum on the roster, and they had Enes Kanter. These were his stats last year. He shot 45% from the field, 38% from three on 9 attempts. A solid year for a guy that's 34 years old for the Bucks, playing second fiddle to Giannis Antetokounmpo. That was as a second option. Those numbers were. And yes, he will be 35 next season, where he doesn't even play at all because he's going to be recovering from that Achilles tear. Coming back at 36 from an Achilles tear, it's not the most ideal thing in the world. And yeah, this is what I was talking about. Last time he was a Blazer, this was the roster he had. But once he comes back from that Achilles tear, assuming he's the starter and Henderson hadn't passed him yet, this is what the lineup will look like. And that's a really solid lineup, especially if Deni and Shaedon Sharpe continue to develop, and maybe we see a little bit more development from Donovan Clingan. You could also throw in a guy like a Robert Williams to that starting lineup, and then have guys like Scoot and Jrue Holiday and Jeremy Grant off the bench. And then another guy I'm really excited about, like Hansen could really be their center of the future. This dude has a ton of talent. I don't know how he was mocked as a second rounder, honestly, after going back and watching the film, but there are 3 young guys that can all be learning from Dame Lillard. Well, I mean, really the whole team, but 3 guys that he could really start to mentor, including Deni Avdija, who is not the youngest in the world, but is probably going to be the best of the 3, although Shaedon Sharpe has limitless potential. Avdija averaged about 17 a game last year with 7.5 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 48% from the field, and 37% from beyond the arc as a 24-year-old, and it was a really promising season for the 6'9" Israeli wing with a 6'9" wingspan. Can defend, can score it. I mean, really from all 3 levels, knocking down the 3 ball. He went on a tear at the end of the year, but remember, he only played about 30 minutes a game. So per 36, he averaged 20.5 points a game with close to 9 rebounds. He will be 25 years old next year, going into a big-time year for him. And he's a guy that if you could buy stock on NBA players, I'd be buying a lot of stock in Deni Avdija. Looking at his last 12 games, he averaged almost 27 a game with 11.5 rebounds and 5.5 assists, shot 52% from the field and 46% from beyond the arc on 7 attempts a night. ISO, I mean, if you get the mismatches, he's going to attack it, like right here against the Nuggets, just getting right downhill. He's too small. He is way too small. And then Shaedon Sharpe, who is maybe my favorite young guy in the league. I had him very, very high in the draft class that he came out of. And remember, he is only 22 years old, heading into, I believe, year 4. They grabbed him with that 7th overall pick. He averaged 18.5 points a game last year, 4.5 rebounds, 2.8 assists in 31 minutes. Shot 45% from the field, 31% from 3. The next stage for him is going to be knocking down that 3 ball, because if he gets a little bit more efficient in that category, he's going to be averaging an easy 20 piece a game, maybe 25 if they give him 34, 35 minutes a night. His last 5 games of the year, he averaged almost a 30 piece with 7.5 rebounds and 4.8 assists, ending the year strong, shooting 45% from the field and 34% from 3 on 10 attempts a game. That's not the worst in the world right there. And also that 6'6" frame with a 7-foot wingspan and absolutely ridiculous bounce, like not from here bounce, going up and erasing shots like that, make him a viable defender. And then reading it in transition, and oh my, that was maybe the dunk of the year. He's got superstar written all over him if he can develop that 3 ball. And Shaedon Sharpe and Deni, that's an elite 1-2 punch, with Dame Lillard as like the 3rd option. Now the 3rd guy here would be Henderson behind Shaedon Sharpe, but I'm pretty excited about Hansen. Like I said earlier, he showed out in the Summer League. He showed out over in China, getting downhill right here. He's about 7'1" with a Jokic-like passing arsenal. And he's quicker than Jokic, which is stupid good. The passing is ridiculous. The feel for the game, look at the back cut, threads the needle right on the money, dropping it in a bucket. A little slipping the screen action there, and he's going to hit him right over the middle. He's got some rim protection as well because obviously he is 7'1". His feel for the game is pretty solid, but you can tell he's still very raw as a prospect. The defensive instincts right there look good, going up and rejecting that, but he's also a scorer, getting downhill, using a little decel 1-2, getting to the rim, banking in this three ball right here, but he does have some range. He can knock down the three ball, shot about 34% as an 18-year-old playing professionally in China, and then working out of the pick and roll. That's ridiculous. If you made it this far into the video, make sure to the like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button. As you can see there, a lot of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. If that's you, go ahead and fix that. Now let's talk about Jrue Holiday, who is going to be replacing Anthony Simons. They traded Simons for Jrue Holiday, who's going to bring them a very nice veteran presence, a guy that he will be 35 years old next year, will be the unk of the squad, but he can still contribute. He's owed 3 years, $94 million on his contract, so the Blazers were obviously cool with eating that to bring him in. Holiday wasn't originally excited, but now that they got Dame, he's looking more and more excited. Those were his stats from last year. Shot 44% from the field and 35% from three on 5 attempts per night. Can still shoot the three ball, but did look a little bit old last year, coming off of that Team USA run to obviously Olympic gold, and he didn't get his full summer. But with Dame and Jrue Holiday coming back, they have a nice veteran guard duo to help with this young core's development. And then Toumani Camara. He is quite literally the perfect 3-and-D wing in the modern NBA. A very sought-after asset. Yes, he's 25. That's the only knock on him, is that he's going into his 3rd year and he's already 25. But he averaged 11.5 points a game, 6 rebounds, 2.2 assists, and shot 46% from the field and 38% from beyond the arc, on top of being the best defender on the team. A team that has Robert Williams, Donovan Clingan, and Matisse Thybulle, by the way. The perfect 3-and-D wing. Like I said, he shot 38% from beyond the arc, great defensive instincts, can protect the rim, and can also guard on the perimeter. Was an all-defensive second-team selection, big-time athleticism, and remember, they got him as a part of the original Dame Lillard trade. Joe Cronin masterclass here in Portland right now, because they are building themselves a squad. Watch him trail D-Book and get the block right there. And if they get a year 3 leap out of Scoot Henderson, it will literally be all of the pieces of the puzzle coming together, as Scoot Henderson would be an elite 6-man option, or even a starter, potentially being a starter next year. The other 2 of the top 3 picks in the 2023 draft have broken out. It is now Scoot Henderson's turn. He will be just 21 years old, and he averaged 12.7 points a game, 5.1 assists, and 3.2 rebounds last year in 26 minutes, while only shooting 42% from the field and 35% from 3. The other 2 guys that were just pictured are already both averaging 20 a game, and Brandon Miller probably would have had better efficiency had he gotten a full season under his belt. We will need to see improvement from beyond the arc from Scoot Henderson this year, because that was his weakness last year. But if he's able to come off screens and knock down threes, then that is huge for the Blazers as a squad, because you can play him at the point guard spot. Now you also have Jeremy Grant, who is pretty overpaid, and the Blazers couldn't find a trade partner for him, so he will be coming off the bench. The team just announced Donovan Clingan, like I said, was their second team all-rookie selection last year, was the 7th overall pick in the draft. He's a big dude. Between him and Young, they've got their duo of the future. Robert Williams will probably be on the way out soon. But yeah, I'm excited for Dame Lillard, excited for this Blazers team, because I think they could make some noise in a very, very competitive West next year. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy at any point.